Quick thing before we get started. If you disappeared from your agency for 30 days, no calls, no emails, no Slack, would it survive? Would it thrive? Would it decline? If you hesitated, I get it. I spent 12 years building my agency, and for the most part of that, I was actually the ceiling. Every decision, every client, every fire, all me. I wrote a book about what actually needed to change. It's called Operator to Owner, and it lays out the 5 identity shifts every founder has to make to stop being that bottleneck. So go to operatortoownerevolution.com. That's operatortoownerevolution.com and grab your copy. You're listening to the Smart Agency Masterclass with me, Jason Swank, and we're bringing you this episode courtesy of our friends at Wix Studio. Let's go ahead and get into the show. Hey, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Yeah, hi Jason. I'm Navneet Kaushal, founder and CEO of Page Traffic. We are a white label SEO agency, and I've been doing SEO for almost 24 years. I mainly have my agency back-end office in India, and I have a sales office in the US.
What got you into starting an agency?
Just like everybody else, nobody thought they will get into the agency business. I'm yet to get a guy who consciously went into the business of SEO. So same with me. I was doing my college, came across SEO, made a website, just testing it out. People started calling me, do you do SEO? And the one thing I learned on the job, and I'm sure we all did, that not to say no to anything. So we learned on the job. So that's what I said. Yes, I do. And that's how I've continued doing SEO ever since.
Yeah, you were back when I was doing SEO was when you could put the keywords the same color as the background.
Yes. And you could build as many backlinks as you want and get ranked, right?
Yeah. I remember doing that. And the first ones to do that kind of really kept their position forever and ever. Like Google, really, kind of allowed us to do that back then. It was nice. I wish that worked now.
It did work till 2012, I think, till Google, by the time Google Penguin update came, it was all fine. I mean, I got almost 200 of my clients got hit with penalty when Google Penguin came. So manual actions and whatnot I've been through. So, yes.
Yeah. So what, there was a story I wanted you to kind of tell a little bit, as you were building your agency and hiring more people kind of gave you more troubles a little bit. What got you out of that, or what'd you find?
So I would say I still get out in those troubles. So it's not that I am completely not, and I'm sure nobody is. So, but you get cycles. So the first cycle when I was hiring people, nobody understood what is SEO. So that was a cycle when I have to train people. It would take me a lot of time to train them. So it was a time where I would not hire anybody. I would say, come do a test for 3 days. I'll pay you. I'll make you understand something. If you understand, I'll hire you. Otherwise, I will not. So that's what I started in 2002 and 3, and we started with that. But then the things, of course, as we keep on doing our job, we get mature. So we started getting mature, and the day I was getting more into SOPs and all those things. So those are the things which got us out of trouble. Second very important thing which got out of trouble was having values and being consistent. So always tell my team, if we are right or we are wrong, we are consistent. So I don't care. If we are wrong for everyone. If we are right for everyone. So those are the mantras, I think, which make us carry forward. And now we are more than 120 people. I mean, one of the largest SEO agencies in India, and still thriving. So yes, so I don't think these challenges will ever go. But yes.
What kind of SOPs really or systems did you guys build to get you on track?
So the first SOPs was when we had a training module. So the first time anybody even when I'm taking the final round of the interview, I'm very specific. The person I'm hiring, this is the person. I tell them that your onboarding is going to go at least 6 to 8 weeks minimum. It can go up to 3 weeks. So that's the onboarding process. So we stick to our onboarding process, which was very important. So when an onboarding process, which was long before AI, of course, was there. So we made videos, we made a lot of Loom videos, trained them. And most importantly, after every video, after every training, I put a question answer. So unless you score 100 out of 100, you don't get a pass from that. So that's what the SOPs were. We the first SOP I built was in 2002 and 3, which was about link building, reciprocal link building. Some people might not even know what that is, but that's what we were doing in 2002 and 3, doing reciprocal links. So I had an SOP and a whole printout of the sheets where people would follow all those things. So that's what we started. Then I started building my own softwares, own tools, so that people stick to those SOPs, stick to those formats. I don't know, I'm a little finicky about the process, so I like to do things process. I cannot work without a process, so I think that helps.
Look, your agency adapts for every client, right? Your builder should do the same. That's why Wix Studio is built for the way you actually create. AI-powered site mapping lets you get straight down to the design. Whether you shape things in Figma or start in Studio, your vision's coming to life quicker with no-code animations and built-in responsiveness. And for client growth that actually scale, you've got extendable business solutions and a dynamic CMS. Scale your agency at wixstudio.com. So when you were developing these systems and building this process, were you the one that was in charge of building it, or were you in charge of approving it, or was someone else doing that?
So I built all the system myself up till 6 years back. Then of course my team, but I would love to. So what I will do is when I was building systems or anybody, I would have somebody train with me. And if they understand, then I'll build a system out of it. So I would say, okay. So even if I'm doing a Loom video, which I used to, I would have somebody sit with me and I will explain them and do our Loom recording. And I think that works better for me rather than me doing it all alone. So I would explain to a person sitting next to me and I do all of that. So that worked wonderfully well for me.
Okay, cool. What's really kind of changed in your business in the past year?
I mean, it looked like a cliche, but of course, AI. So I would say AI changed everything, but for a good and for a bad. I mean, I come across a lot of businesses, a lot of agencies who think AI is going to shut down their businesses, but I'm seeing an uptick in our business. So year and year we are growing. This year we started in January, but this year has been particularly good for us. I mean, for a agency business, we have a lot of white label clients. I was able to build my own tools. And so a lot of things changed because of AI. But the good things is now I don't do wipe coding. I do wipe coding for things, but now we were able to build systems. We were able to build our own softwares. In fact, the good thing is in last 1 year, I have been able to transfer all my knowledge base with the help of AI into the software. So now I don't have to train people too much. They just have to follow the process. And it's a software which builds in, and I can scale like 5x now faster than ever before.
Well, I was telling people in our mastermind the other day is AI is not like a lot of people look at AI as an advantage to the people not using it. And I'm like, no, you have it wrong. It's actually a requirement. Just because there's a lot of people that aren't using it right now, that's going to change, or those people are going to be just eliminated. It's really pretty cool how you can take what's in your brain and create what I call this decision layer that you can install in your team, in your company, right. Because then they don't have to come to you for all the things. Because the thing is with building an agency, most of the founders are always the bottlenecks, because we kind of we create it that way. Like in the very beginning, we were doing everything, and then we start building a team, and then we build a system, and then I'm interested to see if this happened to you as you built a system and you built a team and manager layers and leadership layers and that kind of stuff, right? Like you said, like 6 or 7 years ago, I really haven't built an SOP. My team does that. Have you ever felt like you've been pulled back into it because you wanted to, where you're like, man, the agency doesn't need me now and I need to kind of force myself back into this?
So I'll be frank with you. Making all these things working for so long, sometimes you you miss those things. So you eventually you like to go back and do it because you wanted to, but you cannot just say to your team you wanted it. So you sometime will chime in because you really, because I mean, when I started doing SEO, it was, I mean, believe it or not, SEO has been my hobby. So if you would ask what I've been doing in my free times, doing SEO. So for me, it's always been fun. I don't get tired doing my job. So it was like I would go back and jump in and chime in some of those SOPs. Yes, I've been guilty as charged for those things.
Yeah, I feel that, I think we all do that. And it's kind of what I call the rubber band effect, where like our identity, like even though our role probably shifted up to CEO or maybe even owner or whatever it is, we kind of want to be the architect, right, of the one building the system. So we kind of go back into it, and then the company snaps right back to that level. And it actually hurts the company, for what I remember and what I see when other agency owners do it. I was like, yeah, you can do it, because it sabotages your team a little bit. They're like, hey man, that was my role. Now you're doing it. Like, okay, you just do my role. Now you're paying someone waiting for you to do their job.
Right. So the good and the bad thing about me is that I have my oldest employee is like 20-year-old, so and 17-year-old. So they know my temperament, so they know how I would be. So they are pretty used to it. So a new employee would be a little bit rattled, but an old employee knows how I behave, and they I mean, when you work with employees so long, they become your family. So it's not that big an issue with them. And as I said, we've been growing quite fast these many months and years. Last 2 years been a fastest growing time for us. So I think people and SOPs are immediately required when you want to do something new, because we used AI and everything. So now there is to be SOPs in that. So a lot of things we do, and sometime I don't know. We were doing ChatGPT up to last year, and now we all are. I don't know when was the last time I opened ChatGPT. I mean, I am an all Claude fan, and I'm sure you are too. So that's what we've been doing. I mean, Claude coding and all those things. So yes, all those things. It's a fun time for me.
If you have built a solid agency in the legal, the dental, the medical, or the home services, and you're thinking about the next chapter, you need to know about Herringbone Digital. They're not your typical financial buyer. They're the team that understands the challenges of running and scaling an agency because they've actually done it. And they know how lonely it can be by yourself. Now, I've personally spent a lot of time with them, and they're the real deal. Heck, in the first year, they've acquired 6 agencies, including Hennessy Digital. That should tell you the caliber of partner that they're actually looking for. Now, their model is very simple. They invest in great founders. They protect what's working, and they help you scale faster. Now, while giving you the opportunity to take some chips off that table, they also give you a second bite when they actually sell the bigger agency. So if you're thinking about exiting now, or maybe in a few years, or if you want to know what your options could be, make sure you go to herringbonedigital.com/swank to start that conversation. That's herringbonedigital.com/swank. Yeah, I was all aboard with ChatGPT. And then when I started using Claude and what you could do with it, with the skills and the projects,
Right.
heck, letting it control your computer and watching it do the stuff you want it to teach you how to do in front of you, like, it's pretty amazing.
Yes.
And, and the power it gives to us. Right? Because if you train it, the thing I always talk about on the podcast is, we all have access to the same tools, but we all have different data, data in our mind, data in our CRMs, data on our clients, about our company, all that kind of stuff. And if you can give it that context layer, right? And then you can create this, I call a workflow layer, and then a decision layer. Like, AI is so powerful for your company. It feels like an unfair advantage sometimes.
Yeah, it actually feels scary as well. I mean, I don't know which next level we'll take it to. So I don't know, but yes, I'm enjoying the ride as long as it lasts good for us.
Yeah. Why do you think in the past couple of years you guys have grown fast?
So there are two reasons why I think, because the lot of agencies started panicking, and a lot of first of all, a lot of AI things comes, so a lot of agencies starts panicking about it. So there's just another
Oh, the
fighter jet.
planes are flying over you again.
Yeah, I'm sure you can't
The
hear
power
them, but
went
I
out.
can see them. Right. So the agencies continued growing because of the AI. Because a lot of clients suddenly wants AI to be built in, and a lot of people wants AI enablement for there. We build AI agents. We do AI automations for a lot of businesses. So that's one thing which happened. So that, and second, a lot of people, we were suddenly very cost optimized because of the AI, and quality of my work and the workforce definitely improved. So I think, and third very important factor is, which people don't, because don't I mean, people now start taking seriously, is personal branding. So I'm probably one of those only SEO guy in India who is known with my agency page traffic and known by my name, Navneet Kaushal. So it's not, if I introduce myself or I introduce my company, that people know both of us. So I've been doing personal branding, and I've been speaking in so many conferences around the world in the last couple of years. I've doubled down on that, and my YouTube channel. So I think all those things
Yeah.
people started seeing me more, and that helped in growth.
Well, yeah. I mean, I tell agencies all the time, you need to do personal branding because they trust people that they,
Right.
hear and like and trust versus just a brand. Because, honestly, like if you just put a logo in front of me of someone I've never heard of and go, hey, pick whichever one, I'm like, I don't know. But if I've watched someone's, like I've binged their videos or their podcast or whatever it
Yes.
is, I'm going to lean toward them way more than someone I've never heard of.
True. I think putting yourself in front helps a lot. People are suddenly more comfortable. I mean, you can say they are pre-sold out even before they contact you for their business.
Oh yeah. Yeah, when people reach out to us, we don't do any selling. People always think, oh, if I, get on a call with you, it's going to be a sales call. I'm like, no, it's actually a qualification call. Like we're
True.
qualifying them and they should be qualifying us. Right. Like, but most of the time, if they've been listening to the podcast for years and years, then they're going to be like, all right, I really want this. So,
Right, right,
but
right, right.
well, cool. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show, and for everyone listening, don't miss out on any episodes. Make sure you actually hit the subscribe button, share it out with another agency founder that can help them out. And until next time, have a swank day.